All right, we are back. WCC Media Day. Chris McGee, the coach, Dave Miller. This great man right here. This is Johnny D. Everybody in the WCC knows him. And of course, his coach, Bill Greer. And guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate you guys making that 2-hour drive here to Time Warner Cable Sportsnet. Coach, you're in your 7th year. And I want to start with you. You guys finished on such a high note last year. Really got hot at the end. What are the expectations for this team?
Well, to build off of how we finished, we have a group now, I feel, that has some experience going forward that can draw on what we finished with in the conference tournament last year. And it's helped us, I think, in the off season with our workouts in the weight room and how they've approached practice. So I'm looking forward to this season. I think this is a good group, and I think it's a good group that can make some noise in the conference.
Coach, when I think of the WCCC, I think of great guards. Nationally, you always think of the Zags. You think of St. Mary's. I think you have a great backcourt in Johnny and Chris Anderson. What makes them so good together?
Well, from day one, they've had a special bond. It's almost like they've played together through high school. They get on the floor, and since their freshman year, they've known where each other were at all times during a practice, during a game. And that's something that I think is pretty unique. It usually takes time to develop that. It was from the get-go. I also think because they're both a little bit smaller, they've both had an edge and a chip on their shoulder, probably growing up and playing that way all through their lives, and it's made them ultra competitive.
Guards are the head of the snake. Who's going to be that go-to guy in the post for you this year?
Well, we have a couple guys that we can go to on the interior. None of them are a proven scorer per se yet. They're kind of a work in progress. Dennis Kramer is a senior, and as a sophomore, he had a tremendous amount of success in the interior. He needs to have a good senior year for us. Gito Koch, though, is a young man that really started to come on towards the end of the season, and he's put on about 15 pounds of muscle. And thus far has looked like he's made a lot of progress in the offseason.
I was going to ask you guys if I was going to say that right. Gito Koch.
Gito Koch.
Right? Is he one of the most improved guys?
Absolutely.
On your team?
He had a really good offseason. Last year you knew what you were going to get from him on defense. He blocked a lot of shots. He got some rebounds. But this year I think what he's learned is just be aggressive on offense and use that size.
What do you think the personality of your team is? If you had to explain your team to a group of kids who were growing up playing basketball, what do you want that to say?
I think that the best thing about our team is our chemistry and really our toughness, because we really die for each other. I know that's cliche, but we're really close together. We've done some things. We're always around each other, and just the way we play for each other is kind of the way we're going about it this year.
Johnny, I think you're one of the best shooters, not just in the league, but nationally. What's it like playing with Chris Anderson? Coach just described both of you, but how does he make your game better on the floor?
He is one of the main reasons I'm able to get shots. So he's a huge part of any success I have shooting. He's a phenomenal point guard, and like Coach said, it just kind of clicked day one. It's like we played with each other forever. We play a lot with each other in open gyms and things like that, and it's really helped us just grow together.
Chris mentioned that you had a great finish to the end of the year. What's going to put this team over the hump to try and get in that upper echelon of teams in this great conference?
I think last year was a great ending. It was also a hard ending, just the way we lost with a three-pointer by Dellavedova in overtime. And I think that actually helped us in a lot of ways. It's made us hungry, and we know that we can compete with those teams. And now it's about beating those teams and not just coming down the last minute.
Coach and I were on set. We felt that pain too. I mean, that
one hurt.
Because you guys had come so far. I mean, he's one of the great players. He's now in the NBA.
Yeah.
But for you guys to really make that run, if you could see it on your faces, Coach. You guys were believing, hey, we're going to make this happen.
Yeah, no,
I
think beating BYU twice last year gave this group confidence that they could play with and compete with the top teams in our conference. And I feel for us to make that next step, we have to continue to improve defensively on the glass. That was two areas where I didn't feel we were as strong as we needed to be to get to that next level.
Coach, every night, Dave and I with James Worthy or Robert Orr or Luke, whomever's here, we're talking Lakers. We're always talking system. Are they going to go skill ball? Are they going to play with the two bigs? What kind of system do you want to have in place? What does your team want to look like?
Well, we're trying to play a little more up-tempo and push the ball on the break. We had been more of a 3-around-2 type of set offense in past few years. This year, we're more of a 4-around-1. Dennis Kramer is a player that is He's good on the interior, but his actual probably best skill he has is his ability to shoot the ball from the perimeter with his size. He's a stretch 4. So it allows him to be out on the perimeter, and it gives our guards a little more space and freedom to play out there and to attack, you know, in more of a spread situation. So that's what we're going to look like offensively. We're primarily a man defensive team, but
like to get
into
people.
Well, there's a lot of discussion right now with these rule changes that, you know, I think we'll see how it's called early, but the way they're making it such a turning hand checking from a point of emphasis to a rule, I think a lot of teams are going to end up zoning until they kind of figure out how to play.
Well, that was a question that I was just going to ask you, because I know your teams are aggressive, and it starts with the 2 guards. How are you going to coach differently, knowing that they're going to call the games differently?
Well, we'll find out Saturday when we play our first exhibition, but, you know, we've really tried to make it a point of emphasis with our guys to have their hands back. And we'll see. We'll see how it's called. I mean, we're going to have to adjust. I think everyone's going to go through this. We certainly, I feel like we're probably going to have to play a lot of zone.
Coach, I love what you're doing down there. You've I don't want to say taken your lumps. You've done it the right way. You're building. You have youth, and you stuck with them. I mean, these guys have played almost every game since coming to campus. Who's a newcomer that has started to shine so far?
Well, you know, I think we have a couple of guys, one in particular, Duda Sananze, who played with the Georgian national team in the European Championships this last year. I think that experience, he came back a very confident, more mature player. And Johnny and I were talking on the way up. I think he's kind of the surprise right now of our group. He's
got a lot of buzz around him.
What's
There's
that?
A lot of buzz around him.
Yeah, he's got the ability to put the ball in the basket, and he's a big, strong guard. And so that you know, I think he initially will be a guy that's going to be able to step right in and help us. The other guy is Brett Bailey, who is a freshman. He's our only freshman. He's a 6'6" guard that can play a little bit at the 4 if we decide to go smaller. And I think as he starts to figure things out, you know how freshmen are. Once he does, I think he's going to be a really good player in our conference.
I know how freshmen are. We don't like them until they become sophomores.
Right.
Who's your toughest defender on this team?
Chris Anderson, no question. I think just one-on-one defensively, it doesn't matter the size of the guy he goes against. Chris, when he is dialed in defensively, he can be a real pain for an opponent. And I think, and Johnny, you might see it differently, but that's who I feel is our best.
you agree. So smart. You agree. Yeah. Listen, you spent years in this conference.
Yeah.
Years with Gonzaga. I know you're competitors with them now, but they reached the #1 ranking last year. They went undefeated in WCC. There's got to be some sort of pride for you in the success that they have. And this conference in general, the way now we've added UOP. BYU. I mean, this is a big-time conference.
Yeah, no, the
Destination
conference
spot.
has grown immensely since I've been in. You know, this is my 23rd year. And, you know, I think the addition to BYU really gave us just another national name. Adding Pacific as a team and a program that's had tremendous amount of success. But, you know, it was kind of a cool thing. You know, Coach View and I are very close, and it was a cool thing for him to have his program as the #1 seed in the country. And to have that out of your league says something about your conference.
All right, now, Coach, he's kind of a legend around here. Remember the feature we did on him? When he hits threes, you always yell?
D for 3.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Plus, you get a lot of emails from the young ladies in Los Angeles.
He's kind of got a layered
He's
Hamilton
got a
look.
little layered look to it with the hair, and it's unbelievable.
It's kind of a new look for him.
I like it. I like it. And listen, your sister plays hoops.
Yes.
Right? Dad was in the NFL. Mom was a baller, cross-country runner.
Yep, she ran.
Grandpa was in the Olympics.
Yeah,
68.
68.
Right? You're not even the best athlete on your team. What's going on here?
He's not the best athlete in his family.
I mean, I'm in the family. I'm in the family. You're not even the best athlete in the family.
Yep.
Who are we doing a feature on this year? Think about the guys on your team. Because Coach and I want to do it on you, but I don't know if they're going to let us. Who are we going to do a feature on this team?
You know, you couldn't go wrong with Chris or Gito. Those are both very good players on our team and
Good
have
personalities.
great personalities and just really have great stories.
Coach will probably
Got
put
it.
on him again. Right?
No doubt. I mean, the fans want Johnny D.
Give the people what they want.
I got a question. Driving up in the car with Coach, is he more Biggie Smalls or Tupac
Ooh, tough question.
on the radio?
Maybe Katy Perry?
Katy Perry, great call. No,
Yeah, we just had Pandora on.
Coach is trying to get your cred up a little bit. It's not cred up. Hey, Brent Hilliard, say hi to my friend out there. In the
I
volleyball team.
will.
Doing all
I
right
will.
over there?
Hilly's doing great. Their volleyball team's rolling.
Yeah, they're doing a good job. Hey, we appreciate you guys. Good luck this year. And as Coach said, we love what you guys are doing down there in San Diego, and you're really on the right track. And it's going to be a good team. It's going to be a fun year for all of us.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
doing it the right way, and we enjoy watching the progress that you have had with these young fellas.
Yeah,
Johnny,
thanks.
Yeah, keep letting the hair flow.
I will.
You know, make Coach try to figure you out.
Hey, Johnny, I personally don't like you sitting aside of me because they're looking at your good hair and my no hair.
We have no more fans, Coach. We're all Johnny D fans now. It's amazing.
Are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter.
How can we follow you?
D1 Johnny.
D1 Johnny.
Yep.
We expect 2 follows back.
Oh, yeah,
today.
absolutely.
Let's get it done.
Geeter3
Wonderful.
at Coach Dave Miller. Coach, are
Dave
you on
Miller.
Twitter?
I need to be.
Good job, Coach. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Good luck.
That was fun.